Everybody, it's me, Jennifer from Little Metal Foxes. Hello. And I just wanted to do a quick tool tip tonight on how to protect your fingers while you're filing because, hello there, because every now and then, especially during the winter, your fingers get really dry. So, of course, moisturize. There's all kinds of great moisturizers out there to keep that from happening. But what I would say, and I've been doing this for years, and I just thought I would pass this on. Some people like to use like alligator tape, which you can get from, it's like a tool wrap, which is great, or a sports wrap, which is really good. And that's especially good when you're sawing because the saw doesn't cut through it. Hello. So the sports wrap is a really good way to go. It stays on your fingers, and some people actually like make little caps out of them and keep them on their bench until they just kind of wear out. The cool thing about the sports wrap is because it's like a waxed gauze, the saw will catch on it and like spin it rather than cutting into it when it's on your hand. So if you're constantly nicking your fingers because you're holding stuff down on your bench pen, that can be a really good solution to protect your fingers. A lot of us have what one of my old acquaintances back in Vermont, amazing jeweler Katie Cleaver, would refer to it as a jeweler's scar. And it's usually that middle finger right across there where you catch it with your saw. And she was like, you're not a real jeweler unless you have one of those jeweler scars. And I was like, well, yeah. But Katie had cut herself so many times working with brass, copper, sterling especially, that it had like tattooed multiple lines into her finger. So you could kind of see it. And I myself have definitely, cut it a couple of times once real deep. So using something to protect your fingers from dismemberment and an accident can be really helpful. So I would definitely recommend something like that. The other thing that's just really good, and I find that if you just want something quick and easy, using something like just like rubber tips that you can get from like the office supply store. These are from Swingline, and I love these because I usually just want it on my thumb. But they're usually, this is a large, and they're a little too big for most of my fingers, right? So they're like huge, but it fits on my thumb really well, sort of nice and tight, but it's a little too long, so I can't really bend my finger. So what I do is take that and a pair of scissors, and these things are really super inexpensive, and I just sort of cut it at an angle, like that. Ta-da! And then it has like almost a little tab that I can pull it on my finger, like so. So now I've got a little protection on my thumb, and this is especially good when I am filing. So if I've got something, really teeny tiny like this, and I'm going through multiple pieces, I've got lots of them on the bench. I don't want to, put it into a ring clamp. This one is, it's like making a chain piece. So I really, it's just more efficient for me to hold on to it. But when I file that solder seam, I end up filing my thumb at the same time because I'm using my thumb as a guide. So what I end up doing is I'll carve a little space into my bench pen. Bench pens are consumables and totally great for customizing for pieces, which I've done for this particular piece. And so when I'm holding on to it, I'm using my thumb like that as a guide as I go across. So I'm only cleaning the spot that I want to. But when I use my thumb as a guide, it files into my thumb. So having something like the little rubber tabs work great. Hey Jen, how are you? So using like the little rubber thumbs like this or little rubber finger grips work really well because these will last through multiple uses. They're easy to just pick up when you're at the, Office Max or someplace like that, and just customize them to fit your finger as well. So this also, the other good part about this, they're a little bit thinner than the sports wrap. So it's a little bit easier to sort of feel what I'm doing. But these have like a little they're textured. So it gives you a little bit of a grip when you're holding on to stuff. And so when I'm using that as my guide, one, I can hold on to it, it doesn't slip in my hand, and I can feel it while I'm holding on to it, and it protects my thumb while I'm filing. So these things are super inexpensive, easy to find, easy to get, and easy to customize. So, so next time you're at the office supply store, grab yourself some little fingertips to make things a little bit easier on your fingers over the holidays while you're busting out some jewelry for your shop. I really do like these. Some people like to use them on both fingers. And what I've done in the past as well is even when I was doing a lot of stuff, bigger pieces, I was working on some pieces that were bigger vessel size pieces, and I really needed something that I could move around, and I was doing some big filing and holding on to these things. So what I did was got a pair of like leather gardening gloves that fit my hand really well and cut it so I only had these 3 fingers covered, and then had it so it would like wrap around. So I just customized that and made it fit my hand. It almost looked like a archer's hand grip because it just sort of came down and wrapped around my hand. So I actually had it laced so it fit my hand and would stay on a little bit better and more comfortably. So so yeah, there's some great solutions. Think about it, what you've got around the studio. If you're filing and catching your fingers a lot, it's usually, for me, I'm right-handed, so it's usually my left hand that ends up suffering the consequences of all of the filing and sawing. And if you find that you're cutting yourself or something like that, you may find just, having something like that on the finger that you're holding things down with on your bench pin while you're sawing may stop it. And like I said, these are made out of rubber, so not quite as good. It'll slow you down if that saw breaks or slips or goes a little too far. But the sports grip is absolutely the best for preventing your fingers from getting cut while you're sawing. So just wrapping it around, and they have a little bit, like I said, of wax in them. So they've got a little more grip on your finger. Don't wrap it too tight because you don't want it to cut off your circulation, but you also don't want it to slip on your hand. So having a little bit of that and just making some little caps works great. And the little bit of waxiness on the sports grip or alligator skin works really good to actually help you hold on to pieces. The downside of that for me is that it's a little too thick and I can't quite feel stuff the way I want to. So these are great for filing, definitely, and the alligator grip or a sports wrap for sawing. And like I said, it just catches right on that blade and spins it rather than cutting through it. The saws just can't cut through it. So anyway, we've got some fun classes coming up. We've got some new people that are going to be teaching in the new year. We're very excited about that. Thanks to those people that came out this weekend for the gem show at the Seattle Expo. That was so awesome. So thank you for coming out for the gem show. That was fantastic. We met up at the front of the exhibition hall. We had our foxtail on a stick and met up and wandered through the show, and we were able to sort of chat and catch up and look at stones and get some ideas, and it was really good to see some people. So we're going to do that again in March when the gem show is back here in town again. It's the international or the Intergem show that's here in Seattle twice a year. And if you've got one in your area, I know they travel around and do different things. Maybe put a shout out to your local metalsmith club or gem club and do a meetup so you guys can kind of go through together and answer questions for each other and just shout out and connect and say hi. I think what we're probably going to do in March is do a meetup at the gem show and maybe do lunch afterwards. That way we can sort of show and tell what everybody got and sort of take a look, because everybody sort of departs and comes back, and it's kind of fun to see what everybody gets. So anyway, but that was a lot of fun. I got way more stuff than I needed, of course, and that was fun. Also, we've got lots of good classes coming up. Chris at Lion Punch Forge is doing a number of really cool tools right now. The latest one that has just released is in conjunction with Michelle Lier at Lier Works, and it is a soldering template made out of titanium. Her curves templates are fantastic. If you haven't seen these yet, definitely pop over to Lier Works or to Lion Punch Forge and see what Michelle is doing with those. She is able to fill this titanium frame with filigree and granulation, solder it, and then pop the titanium frame off. It's so cool. But they have lots of other applications, and that's going to be great. Michelle's going to be doing a class with us in the new year, which we're very excited about, and showing people how to use the templates. So that's going to be getting on the schedule in the not too distant future. Also, we have international artist Kelly that's going to be doing a sketchbook class. So for those of you that are needing some design skills and wanting to sort of collect your ideas, it's not so much about drawing as it is about collecting your ideas and finding ways to sort of work through them. It's really helpful when you are needing help with your design skills and you don't draw, or you just need some place to sort of like gather that stuff together. So she's really good at, she does this workshop a lot with photographers, and that can be really helpful for everybody, all craftspeople and creative people, just having a book to work through a lot of those ideas and capture just that spur of the moment idea. So she's really good at that. She's going to be doing her classes, and she's in Europe. She's done classes all over the United States, so we're very fortunate to have her for that class coming up. I'm going to be doing some stone setting classes with the new templates that Chris from Lion Punch Forge is creating out of titanium. So we'll be doing some basket classes as well, and we have some really cool stuff coming out in our December newsletter. So if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, get over there to our website, check that out. And we've got new tool tips and reviews coming out. We've got an introduction to the new people that are going to be teaching. And our discount code for December is going to be in there as well. So yeah, lots of fun changes coming up. So keep an eye out, and lots of classes on the schedule for until the end of the year. And we've got a whole new wave of stuff happening in 2023 that we're very excited about. So yeah, I'll see you later. You guys, thank you. I want to thank everybody that's here right now watching. So hello, and thank you for supporting us and joining us for Tool Tip Tuesday, joining us for classes, and sharing your information with us. We love you guys, and we love what we do. We love being able to share information with you guys and help support the community of makers. As Chris from Lion Punch Forge would say, it's about community, not competition. So we really salute that and know that there are people like Jen here who is a subscriber to that belief. So thank you for that. And I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving and are able to spend it with your friends and family, and are able to be creative for the rest of the year and enjoy the season and enjoy your family. Yeah, so this year I'm giving thanks to you guys and the girls that I work with, the women that I work with at Little Metal Foxes, who have helped me make it through the last couple of years that have been really tough on everyone. So hopefully we can give that back to you as well. So thank you, and have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week for Tool Tip Tuesday. Mwah! Bye, everybody.